Welcome to VATV. My name is Van-Anh Nguyen. I work as the Census Project Coordinator for the Asian Pacific American Legal Resource Center in Washington, D.C. Today, I'm here to talk with a special guest that we have invited from the Census Bureau to talk about the importance of the census, what is to be expected in the coming weeks, and what needs to be done as a community. Her name is Miss Beesha Han, and she works as the Asian specialist for the Census Bureau. And for the past few months, she has been working hard to bring awareness and education to the Asian communities in Northern Virginia. So with that, please welcome Ms. Beesha Han. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Hi, Van-Anh. Thank you for having me today.
Great. If you would not mind, I go directly into the questioning.
Sure.
If you would let us know, or let our audience know, what is the census and why it's so important for the Vietnamese community to be more aware about it?
Mm-hmm. The census is a count of the U.S. populations in the whole nations, and regardless of race, age, documented or undocumented, which is legal or illegal, we have to count everybody. Everybody should be counted. The reason why everybody should be counted is that the number of populations determine how much federal funding each state will get from the federal government. Each year, the federal government allocates $400 billion, to states, according to the census data, and also the census data determines how many congressmen that each state will have in the Congress.
So you mentioned that federal funding is being used to provide each state with the money to
come back
do
to
different programs. Yes. So can you give us specific examples of what kind of programs is the funding for? I mean, how does the programs how does the census directly impact our communities for the next 10 years?
Yes, the census, like I said, census is a count of the population. So the number that give our government an idea, local governments, and where the populations are concentrated. Like for example, that if we have enough people that we need new schools, new hospitals, new library. So that would directly impact where the money should be go to.
Okay, great. So we know it's important.
Sure.
So what's the next step? What do we have to do as a community, as individual household, to participate in the census?
Yes. In the mid-March, every household will receive a census form. It looks like this. It's in blue and black and blue. The form sent to each household is in English, and if you need a Vietnamese form, and actually, see, we have the Vietnamese form, you can turn around the back, there's a number here, you can call this number to request a form that in Vietnamese is sent to your home. And also, if for people who cannot access to the form, then you can go to the online and to download this the Vietnamese language guide. Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's in black and white.
Yes, yes. And this is just a translation. It's a language guide. That this is not official form. Official form is in blue, black and blue, like this. Yes. And also, you can go to the public libraries to pick out the form.
The Vietnamese translation.
Yes.
Okay, great. So can you also let us know? So who should be counted and who should not be counted in a household? I know that within the Vietnamese communities, there are a lot of households where it's not just like one family, but there's also people who rent out a room. So more than one family living in that household. So do we count all of them, or do we just count our immediate family? What's the policy for that?
We need to count everybody. So we don't care how many people live in one address, so we need to count everybody. And the form here, you can count up to like 6 person, like it's in details, and each person there's less than 10 questions, up to 6 person here. And then the 7 and up, that you can fill out shortly, just the name and a birthday. And then if it's if there's more than 12 people living in a household, here the phone number, same again. You ask for additional phone mail to your house.
Okay. So in terms of if a person is undocumented or or if he or she is a college student, or if he or she is living in a nursing home. I mean, what are the rules for counting them?
Since we need to count everybody, and then the undocumented person that we also need to count, and the Census Bureau employees are sworn to for life not to release this kind of personal identifiable data to any organization, any person. Like for example, we would not disclose the information to maybe the police office or the FBI, CIA, the welfares, all that. We are not
Homeland
allowed
Security.
to do that. Yes, we don't do that. We cannot do that. And if someone release the information, then the punishment will be like 5 years in jail or up to like $250,000 fine.
Yeah.
Yes, and we don't want to do that.
Okay. So along with that question, so if I have if I have a sister who is a college student, should I count her on my questionnaire too, or do I let her be counted at her school?
If your sisters live at home, of course she'll be counted, including your address. If she's living on the campus, she should be counted over there, because the we counting the populations. We want to find out where the populations are. If the person is over there on the campus, she or he is using the facility over there, and so she has to be counted over there. And for example, like maybe a senior, they living in the senior home, so they should be counted in the senior home, not with our address.
Okay, great. So if you don't mind, if you can go over the 10 questions on the form. I mean, what kind of questions are they? Are they pretty private, or just general questions?
They're very general questions, only 10 questions, so they will spend you less than 10 minutes to fill out for one person. The first question here that we're asking, how many people live in this address? And so you'll be counting everybody, that, like I said before, regardless the age and race, and here. So that's the total of the people who live in this address.
Okay.
So and then you go on that we will ask that if the person's living only here or somewhere else too. That some people have the summer home, or some the young children, they probably half the time they're spending at the babysitter's house. But of course the person will be come back to sleep on this address. That will be counted here.
So it's where you sleep.
Where you sleep, yes. Okay. And the third question is that if you own or rent this house, and that's the third question. And here it comes down that we ask for your telephone number. The reason why we ask for a telephone number is that in case some information that you fill out here is not clear, then we have to verify, then we will call you instead of coming, knock on the door and ask you in person. So this is just for the quality assurance purpose.
Okay.
Here, and then we will ask your last name, first name, and then it's your gender is a male or female, okay, and then we will ask your birth date. So this is very important. Then this way that we will know that, for example, in this area, any young children, how many young children are in the school age, and how many seniors are living in this area. That maybe do we need more daycare center, new school, need new libraries, or need new more senior homes? That's all determined on this data. Yes, and then we go on that we ask the race, and then here you come down here is number 9. You can check the Vietnamese right here. Yes, and then the last question is just like if the person is staying only in this address or also in different locations. Yes.
So if you half Vietnamese, or if you mix, I suppose, what do you do? How do you identify yourself?
Yeah, this is like a multiple choice. You can check more than one race.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
great.
And of course, then everybody can be different, right? So for the first person, you check, and then you go through the same procedure for the second and on. Yes.
Okay.
And
so it's how you identify yourself, basically.
Yes.
It's subjective.
Yes.
Okay. So moving on, I know that in the Vietnamese communities, there are always people who may have difficulties answering these questionnaires, questions, because